Okay, what's going on, family? My brothers and sisters of the World Wide Web. Today we are watching the Halo 4 terminals with reactions included. And we're going to see if they were good or bad. Spoiler alert, they're good. Yeah, we're just gonna cycle through them and see what we got. Now, the Halo 4 terminals have taken a lot of flack, as well as the rest of Halo 4, because of how much unlike the original 3 Halo games Halo 4 was. It deserves a lot of the flack it gets, but that's not to say it wasn't cool. A lot of things were cool about it, the foremost of which, I believe, was the terminal videos. They had a lot of attitude to them. So, without further unnecessary complications, I think we should get going, don't you? Visuals included in this one. It's a rare treat for your eyes only. Get ready, here it comes. 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, big Forerunner ship showing up. That's cool. Yeah, he's coming into this. Oh, wait, no, so that's a human ship. Isn't it? Oh, no, that was a Forerunner ship.
Our enemies move deeper into our territory with abandon. They must be eradicated.
Shall we take
revenge? Abandon the mantle and all that its philosophy has given us these 1,000 generations.
All our plans have been torn asunder.
More reason not to abandon our beliefs. The mantle is our guidepost in times such as these. We must not falter in following its teachings.
We're good.
The enemy must be sent home and taught to stand with the galaxy, rather than rail against us and take what they desire. The mantle shelters all.
Didact, you make a fair, if uncomfortable.
Why does this guy always look so cool?
You have
Didact.
Librarian, will you likewise follow the mantle as the Didact suggests?
Yes, Master Builder.
She's a good girl. They're all good people. Good folks.
angry
Well,
at me.
music is. That's cool
We
music.
had this discussion a century ago.
Ah, so you are angry at me.
In the chambers, yes. But not now. You'll depart for Requiem soon?
At dawn, my Prometheans are already there.
Already there. You knew the Master Builder would side with you.
Should we step back inside the council chamber?
No. I would rather we spend our night out here. There will be fighting enough in the days ahead.
Do a little bit more. Fighting enough. Whoa! I love it.
My love.
The music is always so bang on in these videos.
War is your realm, Didact, not mine. And you march to this war, facing foes that, while always aggressive, were never so aggressive as they are now.
Your fears are unfounded. The enemy will be turned, and I shall stand by your side once more.
Promise me that.
I promise you. Nothing will stand between us.
Bang, bang, bang.
Lord of Admirals, we are in position over the Forerunner planet.
Show me. Population numbering over 2 billion. Forerunner ships on alert and inbound.
Is it possible? Have we gotten ahead of it?
Flood infestation detected, my lord.
Damn it!
My lord, the infestation is in a remote locale. Perhaps if we warn the Forerunners?
If we warn them.
we give the flood time to spread. You know we have no choice. Cleanse the planet.
These guys are bad dudes. I'm just going to pause there for a brief commentary from the Peanut Gallery. Yeah, you know, I mean, the Lord of Admirals obviously is a rather messed up fellow, and I guess he's in charge of all of humanity. And, you know, I mean, I don't know. It just seems kind of a little silly. You know, he says, like, you know, like if, you know, if the plague is even, if it even has a few moments to spread, it'll be, you know, trouble. Well, I mean, obviously the foreigners aren't worried about it yet, so it really can't be that big of an issue for them. But, if he says so, I guess. Moving on now.
The humans' actions threaten the galaxy, yet we have treated them as the mantle required. Their punishment is just.
Justice is reducing their genetics in such short generations from a spacefaring race to... this?
They are closer now to the animals they behaved as.
If not for their encounter with the Flood, their gene plan could have surpassed our own. They could have someday held the mantle of responsibility.
The humans were not meant to protect others. The mantle of responsibility.
Don't you just love the animations here?
Is ours.
I'm telling you.
And ours alone.
Yes, the mantle is ours. And we hold it so tight that even in death we shall hold it still.
Even in death our meddling continues. Man, these guys are as cool as tranquilized cucumbers. The parasite is not to be trifled with. I hope they know what they're doing.
Lord of Admirals. So very many years have we battled. My finest opponents. The mantle accepts all who live fiercely, who defend their young, build and struggle, and grow. And even those who dominate, as humans have dominated, cruelly, without wisdom.
Sound score is top notch. Don't know what they're saying, but I love it. Sounds so cool.
But for all of us, there is a time like this. And for you, that time is
Looks
now.
like something of the coolest Star Wars ever,
Know
eh?
this relentless enemy, killer of our children, Lord of Admirals. Soon we will face the enemy you have faced. And we are afraid.
And you should be.
My life workers are investigating, but I believe the humans were never attacking us.
Tell that to the millions of dead.
The humans were acting as caretakers, pruning away planets so that this infection would not spread.
They took the mantle of responsibility upon themselves. And in so doing, they brought this sickness to our shores.
Husband.
He's got a slight point. Maybe she should remember that he is the
The Flood
Lord of the Mantle?
our galaxy with each passing day. They feast on the essence of life itself. The only way to
Hang
stop
on.
their
Looks like spies are on approach once again.
Remove that life upon which they feast.
My life is the seed of humanity.
That was the dragon they unleashed on the universe immersion reveal. Luckily, I set up some anti-aircraft weaponry to
My husband
slay
has a
the
different
dragon.
opinion of what steps to take against the flood.
Annihilation of everyone.
Did it work? Run the simulation. The procedure is a failure. I am still susceptible to flood infection.
That leaves only the composer.
It will not work on my new form.
This guy's
You
cool.
will
I think that's the
lead
master
us as
builder.
always.
You would submit to such
Supposedly a good
sacrifice.
guy.
Didact. If the composer is our final hope to defeat the flood, no Promethean would resist.
I have led you, my Prometheans, for thousands of years, and I shall continue to lead you. Rise! Rise and protect the Forerunners! Rise and protect the galaxy!
I think it's safe to say they arose. I don't know what the music's about, but it's got that atmosphere to it. Yeah, that was cool. That was a good effect.
The flood is still too strong. Perhaps if I had greater numbers.
How are you gonna get them greater numbers, huh? Ooh, the rings are back.
Humans, your kind brought the flood to our shores. Now you will aid in ending its threat.
Prometheans.
They were to be safe here. I ensured they would rise once more.
It's all the
better than
master
before.
builder's fault.
Your pets have a nobler purpose ahead of them.
You do not face me in person after your deceit.
I have an army to build from the raw materials harvested this day. The citizens of this Halo are my first conscripts, and with them in my thrall, the Flood will meet its defeat.
In his thrall.
Humanity's loss of biological form will serve as final payment for their crimes. It is a kindness they do not deserve.
What will be done?
Move the other humans to safety. Ensure the security of their index samples. They must finish what we have failed to do.
Librarian, where are you going?
To stop my husband's madness.
To get his costume as cool as your one.
My dear husband.
Whoa! Dragons!
I know your crimes, and I have found forgiveness.
Let's just pause for 1 second. Continuing on the coolness of the animations that I was referring to earlier. Can you really get enough of all that stuff? I mean, you see like the they look like picture drawings, like mobile picture drawings. They must be really simple to make, and yet they deliver such an effect that you wonder why more people don't use them. I mean, they got even more effect than even like the movie CG of the Spartan Ops, which technically was really good. I mean, I really enjoyed that. I'll have to do a similar video on the Spartan Ops shortly. But I mean, you really do have to admire the terminal video spunk. I mean, they really compartmentalize too. What does compartmentalize mean? Compartmentalization is the process where you I don't even know. I know. I mean, it's just the process where you focus on what needs to be said, but and try to eliminate all the useless detail. In the books, Cryptum, Primordium, and Silentum, which the Halo Terminal videos were copied off of, those 3 books, especially the book Silentum, the 3rd one. The author, Gregg Bear, goes on and on and on and on and on about all this stuff, you know, a million ways from Sunday. But what these terminal videos really do is they really do isolate the important things that he said in his book and really only show you them. And maybe that's what makes them cooler than anything, the fact that you really see what those important details looked like the assimilation of the Prometheans, the council at the start there, where the Forerunners decide to not wipe out humanity but just kind of defeat them. And then you see the Lord of Admirals and his guys, you know, they look like some sort of Indian or something. It's definitely not what I would have done, but honestly, I kind of like it. It almost shows something of their character. Maybe that's why they're so violent. They were almost like this, just like this savage band or something. Hey, I'm not saying all Indians who wear war paint were savages. I'm just saying it's war paint, right? They wear war paint. So, I mean, I imagine if you saw the Lord of Admirals on a regular day, he wouldn't be wearing all this stuff. But when they're in ship and they're assembled, they're there for fighting. They're there to show the Flood that it's time to take the gloves off and get into the rink, bub. So, continuing now. But yeah, one minor note, and remember this well, okay, because I'm only going to say it once. So make sure you remember, okay, so turn off the music. Turn off the music. I'm not talking to you when you're listening to music. You know, I mean, I love the terminal videos. And that's my memo. Moving on.
I know your reasons. I understand them.
He's still dear?
I know you. Perhaps better than you could ever to know
cool.
yourself. I ask you, forgive my transgressions.
That
Like yourself.
transgression.
All I have done.
They make a really
I have
cool
done
sound, eh?
For the greater good.
She didn't use a
Our
Forerunner
time
gun
as
there.
the
That was a
galaxy's
Promethean
caretakers
gun.
is past. The Flood have overrun us. In the days to come, the Halo rings will fire, eradicating the Flood and all other life for a time. I have worked hard to index all species in known space. When the time comes, these indexes will open, and once more the galaxy will breathe and grow. Blood will pump, life will claw its way out of the oceans and through the mud. Babes will be born and grow old under the warmth of 1,000 suns.
The indexing thing is pretty cool. I like the idea behind it. I mean, at least for Halo, anyway.
Civilizations will rise in our stead, and our job as caretakers will at last bear fruit. Until then, I leave you here, my love. The only living thing in this galaxy, sealed safely away. Spend these ages ahead of you in meditation on your choices. When you
And
wake,
of course, she activates the Halo
you will
rings.
find the humans. I have ensured that they will grow strong and vibrant. They will be our rightful heirs. Their gene plan dictates that the galaxy will be theirs to care for by then. I beg of you, find the strength to help them learn from our mistakes. And my husband, let them teach you as well. Please.
Now this gets really cool here. Boom. Yeah, I forget what those symbols mean, but they're cool. Okay, so now it's time for the overall review again. Okay, so tell us what you think in the comments section below. I mean, honestly, if you don't like those things, maybe you've got your reasons. I mean, let's face it, they were a little bit contrary to the canon of Halos 1, 2, and 3. And I don't include Halo Reach in that canon either for all you Reach lovers. I thought Halo Reach was, well, not totally wrong about some of the details. I thought it was a disgrace to the Halo industry. Bungie let us down. But in the meantime, Before 3 came into Halo 4 with high expectations, right? High hopes. And I mean, honestly, while they didn't deliver as well as we would have liked, they most certainly did something right. You got to admit they did something right, these guys. I mean, I didn't like the direction of turning even the Forerunners into aliens. I thought the Forerunners were always humans. I thought the Halo 3 terminals especially had always shown that quite clearly. But if that's what you're going to do, and if that's the direction you're going to take, they did a very, very, very good job at executing and really giving you the atmosphere. And even the terminal locations are actually pretty cool. I mean, for example, that dragon just burnt down a city over there right outside the immersion mobile. Luckily, the producers had just finished writing my next script before they got charcoaled. We can get new producers, right? I mean, just done a nice, refreshing glass of H2O. Gotta love it. But yeah, anyways, like so as a further explanation on Halo 4, I will say this, because we all care what my opinion is. The Halo 4 terminals were... Okay, scratch that. The overall idea of Halo 4 was very, very well put together. I mean, everything was very flowing. 343 had a very focused idea on where they wanted to take it, and they really took it in that direction, and it turned out wonderful and beautiful. Everything looked good. The scenery looked really good. Okay, now hold on before you start criticizing, because I'm just got to finish this up here. You know, the scenery looked really good. The Prometheans looked radical. The Covenant looked like garbage, but okay. The storyline had a lot of character to it. Even the Cortana romance, while not really being a Halo-y thing, it was still really cool. And everything was just really well flowed together. You know, even some of the sound effects and the effects and everything. The soundtrack was phenomenal, despite the fact that it was played so quietly that you really couldn't even hear it. But I mean, Neil David and Kazuma Janauchi really outdid themselves on it. But the main problem with Halo 4, which especially in the terminals, but even in the rest of the campaign, was the fact that it wasn't trying to be the other three Halos at all. It wasn't trying to be their successor. It was trying to be its own thing. Master Chief, while he looked super cool, and where'd he get the new suit of armor? That is not the same suit of armor that he wore in Halo 3. Oh, well, it's sort of meant to be. They even have this cheap excuse on Wikipedia where, like, nanobots made it. Yeah, you heard that right. And it's just, that's just not how it works, you know. And then they tried to say that in the precursor games in Halo Reach and stuff, people dressed like Halo 4 Chief. Well, no, they didn't. They just didn't, and they disproved their own theories multiple times. I can't think of where now exactly, but I know they do. There's a lot of evidence of this. If you're a Halo fan, you can probably testify to what I'm saying in a court of law. But yeah, so I mean, you see what I'm saying. But so the canon of the Halo 4 terminal videos and the cinematics and the gameplay and the everything, even the Prometheans, isn't really canonable. You really can't say that this stuff is Halo. It's its own thing, which is really stupid, because you got to keep with the canon. That being said, however, if you're going to break canon, you got to do it like Halo 4. And what I would like to see... Oh, no, dragon! I see fire inside the mountain. Okay, but if you really are going to if you really are going to break the canon of your own universe, you do have to do it like Halo 4. Give you something really, really cool in replacement. So, while I have a hard time looking back on Halo 4 now myself, you know, because it was about 6-7 years ago, and it can be hard for me to accept Halo 4 because it really, really broke the canon. And after that, the canon's been shattered ever since. Yep. It started in Halo Reach, people. The canon breaking started in Halo Reach. But, you know, it did kind of continue through into Halo 4. And, you know, while it can be really hard for someone like me to accept that, because I loved Halos 1, 2, and 3 a lot, especially Halo 2. I thought Halo 2 was just phenomenal. At the same time, there is no excuse for Halo 4 breaking the canon. But one thing I think 343 should have done instead of making a Halo game is try their own thing with all the cool ideas they had in their head. I often, me and my brother jokingly call it Star Warriors. It's just because it's the most classic game name ever. You know, we call it Star Warriors 4 because, I mean, let's face it, if that game was called Star Warriors 4 and you saw it on the shelves in Best Buy, you know, you'd just be lapping it up going, oh yeah, this stuff is so cool. But as it is, they try to pretend that it's Halo, and it's really not. Nothing looks Halo-y at all. But it's so well put together that you feel, you wish it was something. You wish you could canonify it, right? And I think you can. Well, no, you can't. But one thing you can do is you can almost pretend it's something else. So yeah, you just make fanfics while you're playing the game, and you just pretend that you know, you're shooting those ugly lizard men who are laughingly call themselves elites. You just pretend that they're not elites. They're something else. And those Prometheans, well, I mean, the Prometheans are cool enough, but let's just pretend they never showed up in Halo, and let's just pretend they were something else. And then all that terminal stuff that we were just reviewing, and that didact, ugly alien loser brain. You know, you just pretend that that's part of like something more grand, something that's more in depth than Halo. Because let's not forget. While we all love Halo, we all have to admit that Halo is not really that in depth of a story. They just tell the basic shallowness of a story in a good way, a very good way, and they just roll with that. That's kind of what Halo has always been about, especially in Halo 1, 2, and 3. They didn't really dig too deep. Halo 2 tried to dig pretty deep, but they never really got too far. And most of the bonus story content is just backstory stuff. Like, Forerunners are never really touched upon. The Halo 3 terminals are the closest you get, and even they are vague, although they do have the didact in the library and all that, but they say they're humans. Okay, they say they're humans. Okay, maybe not directly, but you can sure piece it together. Anyways, I'm going to stop talking about that for a second. But yeah, so, but then in Halo 4, there's far more depth. You know, the Spartan Ops was trying to explain a lot of things. They're trying to get an overall story going, although the missions were really bad. And then the, you know, the campaign was trying to get the whole Chief Cortana thing really going. And they were also trying to get, you know, Didact taking his revenge on humanity. And they made it very clear that he did not die at the end of Halo 4. Well, at least they made it a little clear. If you read a few magazines, you knew. And, yeah, a few other things. Oh, yeah, I mean, like I said, so the campaign of the Spartan Ops were pretty telling of a larger tale than what we were used to seeing from a Halo game. And then, And then the terminal videos, the 15 minutes of terminal videos, just really stacked onto that and really made it feel like there was far more depth to Halo 4 than than any previous Halo game. Especially like Halo Reach and Halo 3 ODST. Those two games were so bad. I'm just like, wow, ODST, what a disgrace to the gaming industry that was. A disgrace, good sir. It was a bad, bad game. And then Reach, I could go into Reach for a country mile. I could go and do it for a whole country mile. But this isn't meant to be a negative review. This is meant to bring joy and happiness into your life. And I hope it has. In the meantime, dun 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 dun. I love that part. You have to love that part if you're a true Halo fan. But in the meantime, yeah, so like I said, Halo 4 did bring a lot into Halo, and I really thought they what they did was at least memorable. Unlike Halo 5, which was so forgettable that you almost couldn't watch it without crying, tears and everything. Whereas Halo 4 actually had a lot of character to it. So yeah, that's my overall review. Once again, tune into Universe Immersion. I'm going to skip the commercials today, mostly because I'm too embarrassed. And, it's ad-free, right? I mean, we all love ad-free stuff. It's like when there's no pay-to-win scenario. We all love no pay-to-win. So, once again, my name is Gregg Everman. Actually, I think that's the first time I told you that yet. But remember, my name is Gregg Everman. Subscribe to Universe Immersion. Like the video. Leave a 20-line deep comment in the comment section below, because we all know what happens. I get subscribers, I get money, bada bing, bada boom, we're in business. Subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you very much for your time. Goodbye.
I have found forgiveness. I know your reasons. I understand them. I know you. Perhaps better than you could ever hope to know yourself. I ask you, forgive my transgressions. Like yourself, all I have done, I have done for the greater good. Our time as the galaxy's caretakers is past. The Flood have overrun us. In the days to come, the Halo rings will fire, eradicating the Flood and all other life for a time. I have worked hard to index all species in known space. When the time comes, these indexes will open, and once more the galaxy will breathe and grow. Blood will pump, life will claw its way out of the oceans and through the mud. Babes will be born and grow old under the warmth of 1,000 suns. Civilizations will rise in our stead, and our job as caretakers will at last bear fruit. Until then, I leave you here, my love. The only living thing in this galaxy, sealed safely away. Spend these ages ahead of you in meditation on your choices. When you wake, you will find the humans. I have ensured that they will grow strong and vibrant. They will be our rightful heirs. Their gene plan dictates that the galaxy will be theirs to care for by then. I beg of you, find the strength to help them learn from our mistakes. And my husband, Let them teach you as well. Please.